Stay tuned as we check out this Hydra Supreme and Arnim Zola Marvel Legends 2-pack. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Today, of course, another Marvel Legends review, and I did not expect to get this in January as it was slated to come out in March, but it is the Hydra 2-pack with Arnim Zola, of course, and then this Hydra Supreme, and I'll sort of explain who these guys are in more detail as we go along. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they showed this off at Comic-Con last year. It was slated to come out March, maybe an Entertainment Earth exclusive, something like that. But I've managed to get my hands on one from KapowToys. So in the UK, I believe it's out in KapowToys, In Demand Toys. US, I'm not too sure where it's going to be available. Check out Entertainment Earth, as I'm sure it's going to be there. So yeah, I didn't even pre-order this at first. I only actually pre-ordered this a couple of weeks ago when I realised it was going to be in stock sooner rather than later. I thought, why not? And now I'm very happy I did, as in hand, it looks very good. I'm not going to lie, first impressions are very nice. It's going to go very nice with that Hydra 2-pack that has been out recently as well. So on the side we get a picture of Arnim Zola. These are the more modern versions of the outfit as it's from a recent storyline. And yeah, no association with any particular wave, but there's the promo art that we have seen for a while. And yeah, it's from the storyline of the Secret Empire, that famous time Captain America said "Hail Hydra" and the whole comic community went crazy. Well, yeah, let me explain what all that is and let's get it open up. And here they are out of the box, looking very nice, I'm not going to lie. Really like this Arnim Zola. I really did need one for my collection as I never managed to build the Build-A-Figure back in the Epic Hero days, 2012, 2013 I'd like to say. So I really did need one for my collection. I like the modern repaint, and we do get a couple of accessories for some alternative looks, which I'll get into in a minute. And then this guy is a hybrid of Captain America / Iron Man, and I'm sure there's a lot of reuse on the figure itself, but we'll look at that in more detail in a second. So I will do a Who Is He segment for Arnim Zola, of course. He is a classic comic book villain, a mad scientist. So I'll look at him in more detail in a second. So let me move him to the side and let me quickly explain who this Supreme Hydra guy is. So long story short, as the storyline is very convoluted, it is Steve Rogers, but of an alternative reality where Hydra had infiltrated him from an early age. The storyline is all to do with the Cosmic Cube and Red Skull. And yeah, a lot of people, when it was first announced that Steve Rogers said "Hail Hydra" at the end of the first issue, people were divided. It was very controversial. They were like, Captain America can't really be a Nazi, all of that nonsense. But it was just an alternative version of Steve Rogers, and it all got revealed towards the end. So controversy over. But that storyline wasn't highly rated. So again, these are very modern versions of the figure designs, which is good to see Hasbro keeping up reading the comics. So it's nice to know. And he comes with one accessory, which is the modern day shield, which I quite like, but in the comics the shield actually breaks in two, and you can see the little line there that sort of teases that the shield will break in two, but it doesn't. It's all one piece, and it has the same clip and peg gimmick, so you can actually peg it in his back. But oh wait, no, there is no hole, no peg hole in his back, so you can't even peg the shield into his back, which is a little bit annoying. I didn't even notice that until I just seen it. But yeah, I really do wish that the shield broke in two, as that is the reason Cap's shield is a little bit different, but no, it doesn't. But he does clip onto his hand, and then you can awkwardly pose his hand if you want to get it straight. But it is meant to be used as like a weapon as well, so if you clip it on that way, you can get him in some fighting poses, I have no doubt. And yeah, I'm really terrible at playing the where did the sculpt come from, but I'm looking like some sort of Iron Man, surely. I'm not too sure where these scale trousers are from, maybe from a previous Captain America. Again, you guys tell me in the comments, you're much better at this game than me, but there's some definite reuse on this figure. So let me zoom in, I'll show you the details, and then we'll move on Zola. So here's our close-up of Hydra Supreme, and I do think the head sculpt is new, as it's sort of a hybrid of Captain America and Iron Man, as I've previously said, but I do think it is new. And then the rest of the body is probably an amalgamation of other things. I'm sure we've seen this bout before, which is a separate piece. It's just very tightly on there. Scale legs, again, I'm assuming from an old Captain America. This back bit sort of reminds me of an Iron Man, so maybe this top bit's new, I'm not too sure. These hands are definitely Iron Man. Look at that. That is definitely Iron Man. There's a fist there as well. These arms look like they're from a Taskmaster or something. But yeah, again, you guys are better at this game than me, but the scaled trousers are quite nice. So that is a nice detail. And yeah, it does look quite accurate to the comics, and there's his shield, as I already said, but I get annoyed. What? I've just broke it live on camera. So that's fun. That's fun when you break a toy. And I can't even plug it in his back. So now I'm going to have to glue his shield to his arm. That is very frustrating. So that was annoying that I've just broke the shield just by trying to clip it on his arm. So yeah, look out for yours, people. I did it, so you don't. I did want to try a Captain America head on this, but I couldn't get one that fits the peg. But I'm sure you guys, if you really wanted an unmasked Cap head, you can use a previous one. Just this one I'm using doesn't sit on the ball peg properly, so it's got a bit of a long neck syndrome. But it does look good if you can get a decent unmasked Cap head on there. But for now, this is it. So I'm annoyed that the shield is broke and he can't even hold it anymore, and I can't even find the broken piece on the floor. So let's move on to Arnim Zola. So here's Arnim Zola. Fingers crossed I don't break anything this time. So this guy looks really nice, and as I said, it is a sort of redone version of the old Build-A-Figure. Now I did just look through my box, and the only piece I could find was this piece, which actually has the red skull on the chest, which is a variant. I did have the Arnim Zola one, but I think I sent it to my good friend Rolando over in the US a while ago. But as you can see, it is basically the same torso piece, and I think the rest of the body is the same as well. So unfortunately I can't do a straight comparison of the old one, as I don't have it. But what I do like about this is that it comes with some alternative pieces, so you can give it some different looks. So I'll zoom in and show you that as well. And he also comes with a control, as he does occasionally like to control robots and whatnot, and clones that he builds, etc. And he does hold that very nicely in one hand, and then this other hand is like just a menacing grip hand. But there's double articulation, double jointed knees, sorry, only single jointed elbows, but they do move very nicely. And yeah, let me zoom in and show you that face, and we can change that top piece as well. So here we have a close-up of his awkward looking head, because of course this robot body doesn't have a head. Instead it has this sort of ESP device, which you can see he uses to control his clones, but it also shoots lasers and stuff like that. And he sort of looks like a garlic from Doctor Who, doesn't it? That's what it reminds me of. And again, there's a better look at that chest piece. I do really like the sort of evil expression there, and it is meant to be like a hologram in his chest. So yeah, has a nice detail. And at first I thought this chest piece come up because it sort of unclips there, and I thought you might be able to put different looks in. So maybe customizers can give that a go, but I don't want to pull mine up in case I just break it again, as I'm obviously very conscious now of breaking stuff. But maybe that's a possibility. But I do like that face expression, and I do like the sort of metallic yellow as well on the figure. Those lines are all sculpted, and yeah, he's looking good. And there's a closer look at his remote. But this top piece does change, of course, so you can give him different looks, so you can have a more classic look with this sort of box. And I think this is the version that come with the Build-A-Figure. And there you go, it does click on. You probably heard it click there, and that's a more classic look for Arnim Zola. But yeah, overall, people, looking good. So here we have Arnim Zola in his more classic look, but with that updated paint scheme. And this would be the perfect opportunity to take you to a section that I like to call Arnim Zola. Who is he? This is the part of the video where we ask the question, who is he? And I try and give you a little bit of information about the character this figure is inspired by. So Arnim Zola, who is he? Arnim Zola is a scientific genius but specialises in biochemistry. During World War II he worked for the Nazis, but after the war was recruited by the Red Skull and started working with Hydra. His first appearance was in Captain America 208 in April of 1977. He survived all these years by transferring his consciousness into a robot body and is known for projecting his face onto a screen on his chest. Zola has backups of himself on various networks, so if his body gets destroyed, he can transfer his consciousness onto another. He also specialises in cloning and has often created monsters to do his bidding and controls them using an ESP device as a replacement for his head. So there you go, I hope that helped. Again, I do not claim to be an expert, but it is nice to have a little bit of information about the characters these figures are inspired by. So yes, I'm completely cheating. He has actually got his shield glue tacked to his arm for the time being, as I'm still annoyed that that broke while I was reviewing it. But yeah, let's do some comparisons of these guys, as you sort of do need them in your Hydra collection. So first and foremost, let's do a Hydra soldier. So as you can see, the Supreme Hydra guy is tiny bit taller, and so is Arnim Zola, but none of them are massive. They all fit in scale very nicely. And just to show you, here is the beefy Hydra soldier from that 2-pack. If I move all these over a little bit, we'll be able to see better, won't we? And he obviously is the tallest out of them all. So they do scale quite nicely for a display, and he's not standing up. There you go. And yeah, they're looking good. But what is Hydra without the boss? So I'm using my MCU version of Red Skull, as let's be honest, you can sort of cheat and have this version as your comic or MCU version of Red Skull, as they are just very similar. And I really dislike the comic version of Red Skull we got on that old Nick Fury body. The legs were terrible, it couldn't stand. And what I've done, I've got this cape from, I believe it was a Kylo Ren figure from Black Series, and it fits perfectly there on Red Skull and just looks really, really nice. So as you can see, he looks really good commanding his army. Colour schemes are a bit off, so maybe won't work great with a display, but still, I reckon that's a great looking Red Skull, and compared to your Hydra guys. Another guy that Arnim Zola has worked with many times before, Baron Zemo, of course, looking very nice as well, and his colour scheme does fit in a little bit better with this display, and I could definitely pose these two on the shelf together and maybe have a Hydra soldier or two flanking them on the display. So those look quite good together. But it wouldn't be fair, would it, to not compare this evil Supreme Hydra guy to the man himself, the 616 Steve Rogers, which is this, of course, Captain America. And this is my Captain America on my shelf with his pointing finger. And yeah, he's about the same size, actually. And yeah, there you go. There's the Supreme Evil Cap with the original 616 cap. And yeah, looking good. So overall, a nice villain 2-pack, people. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, especially you comic fans out there. But you know me, I love them all, and I will find a place for them in my display. I'm just annoyed that that shield broke while I was plugging it in the arm, so please be careful. Don't make the mistake I did. But yeah, really like his Arnim Zola. Not too disappointed now I missed out on that original builder figure, because I do quite like the colour scheme and the chest sort of hologram on this one. So yeah, you let me know what you think in the comments below, people. Hope you enjoyed my ramblings. I do always enjoy some villains, and you know what to do, people. Check out the videos tab, plenty of Marvel Legends reviews, and please, please, please hit that subscribe button, much appreciated. And as always, I shall see you on the next one.